In Canada, and the information we got, because I got it right here, I'm gonna read it to you. The average consumer debt rose to $72,950. So that's a 2.7 increase compared to the year before. In the US, the consumer debt goes up every year. So they're at record-breaking highs right now of $14 trillion. But then on the other side, you got articles with headlines that's reading, you won't believe how many households can't cover an unexpected $400 expense. Damn. In this episode of Deshane McKenzie TV, I'm gonna go over 5 ways that you can fix your credit so you can go further from an Owing lifestyle and closer to owning your lifestyle. So stay tuned. Welcome to episode 4. My name is Deshane McKenzie and I help young professionals, non-professionals, and entrepreneurial-minded people think differently about money and show you how you can make better decisions financially to own your lifestyle. If you're new here, shout out to you because it definitely means that you're here looking for some type of tips or strategies that you can use in your own life to better it and own your lifestyle. So again, we appreciate you for being here. Welcome. I have new episodes that I release weekly on my blog post, so you can go over to www.deshanemckenzie.com. This blog post is /4, and you can download a free resource that I include in every blog post every week by clicking the big red button. I also highly recommend you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be one of the first people to get access to this information. So how much households in North America on average can afford an unexpected $400 expense? Out of every 10 households, majority of the reports state that 4 out of 5 on average can afford it. That's almost 50%. So about half of us love spending money. The only thing is, our bank accounts aren't set up to be able to live that type of lifestyle. We still go out though and buy things and put it on credit to keep us and the ones around us happy. But when that $400 expense hits, the stress hits right after. So when that happens, you're either down for the count or you figure out something to get past it and move on. So we not only need to get up and keep going, but we need to be able to fight back. Use the credit to our advantage and own your lifestyle. So we're going into 5 ways to learn how to fix your credit instead of looking for ways or other things that'll get you in more debt. Strategy number 1, know your credit score before you start. This is one of the most important points because if you don't know where you're at right now, how are you supposed to know exactly what you need to do in your own life to be able to get to where you have to? And it's the first step, which is exactly why I included in this week's episode, the resource called How to Check Your Credit, the Options. So again, go over to my blog and you can download that by clicking the big red button. And there you have access to all the information you need to begin with, so you have an idea of how to check your credit, what your credit score will be, and from there, you'll know what to do next. Strategy number 2, dispute incorrect late payments and entries. When you get access to your credit score and report, the credit report is gonna have a history of everything that's ever happened on that card. Remember this in case you don't already know. Credit bureaus are legally obligated to give you your report once a year for free. And being aware of what's on it could help you in the long run and have it looking like more of what you want it to look like instead of what somebody else has it looking like without you even knowing about it. Sometimes there's amounts owed on our credit reports that we don't even know about because we didn't even put it on there. And because of that, it stacks up over time and turns into multiple late payments. And with that amount scheduled to go to collections, we all know if we don't do something about it and it goes further, it's gonna take a bigger hit to our credit score. If you know you had nothing to do with those charges or you don't remember ever having that type of charge, disputing those things will get them removed off of your credit history fully. At the end of the day, your credit score will shoot up automatically. Strategy number 3, pay off newer, high-interest cards first. Paying the minimum on your credit card with the lowest interest and the longest history should not be one of the first cards that you choose to pay off. And if you got more than one card, you should not take what you have to put in the credit card payments and split it evenly between all of the cards. The newer the card, the more it affects your credit, because companies that you just started with are now looking to see how you can manage that money, what you're gonna do with it, so that they know whether to give you any more money or whether to increase the limit if you were to ask for it. A high interest credit card just means that the longer you take to pay it off, the more you pay. So if you're making the minimum payment on your credit card, that $350 payment can easily turn to $285 real quick, and that difference is going straight to them as profit. Strategy number 4, pay a decent amount and negotiate the fees. These credit card and other money lending companies will work with you, but the relationship is money based strictly. So unless you got that money up front, They're not willing to talk about or negotiate nothing. So after you do things like make consistent payments over a certain amount of months, or if you decide to make one lump sum payment, then you can negotiate with them and lower down the interest rate. I've personally been able to do that. I did exactly what I'm saying right now, and I was able to get the lowest interest rate possible. So it became easier for me to manage the credit card and lower down the balance on it overall. Strategy number 5, build your credit through somebody else's. This is 100% something I would recommend to anybody that has somebody that trusts them with their credit score. The reason is because this is one of the fastest, if not the fastest way to build your credit score. So this goes for anything in life when you really think about it. But once someone at a level that you want to be at co-signs you, and then you deliver consistently, so in this case it's making the payments on time and make sure the balance is always at 0, the lenders are going to trust you a lot faster than if you were to make a name for yourself by yourself and try to build your credit on your own. So there are other ways to fix your credit. One of them being to not close out any cards that you haven't used in a while with a long history. But the only way I would say to do this is if you're not paying anything in annual fees. Another thing you could do is to only spend 30% of the total amount that's on your card. And the reason for that is because 1, it's stretched out over a long period of time so they can look back and see exactly how you manage money over the years. And 2, because you keep it at 30%, they know they can trust you, they know you're disciplined, and they know you're not about to max out the money with no way of paying it back. And with that being said, remember, I got you. In this week's episode, I included a free resource. It's called How to Check Your Credit, The Options. You can download that for free by going over to my blog at www.DeshaneMcKenzie.com/4, and you can download it by clicking the big red button on the blog. If you've gotten any type of value from this episode and you know somebody that's looking for this information as well, feel free to click the share button. And also, if you've done anything in the past to raise your credit score, drop a comment down below and join the conversation. This is Deshane McKenzie. I appreciate you for tuning in. See you next episode.